My dear students, welcome to Alnaz Academy. In this video, we are going to study about reproduction in lower and higher plants, which is chapter 1, and this is part 1. And this chapter 1 is from standard 12 biology, which is revised syllabus 2020 of Maharashtra State Board. This also covers NCERT unit 6 chapter 1 and 2. And I am your facilitator, Nusrat Siddiqui, to help you and to guide you, having experience of more than 15 years in the field of education. Let's begin this video with Malcolm X quote, "Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today." So let's prepare for our future. So as we are studying reproduction in lower and higher plants, and we all know that every organism, they live for a certain period of time. Okay, so the period from birth to the natural death of an organism represents its lifespan. For example, the average lifespan of humans are around 60 years. Okay, and reproduction is the production of young ones like parents, and it is used, or it is essential, it is important to maintain continuity of species and life, and each organism has their own method of reproduction. Till here, is it clear? Having said that, reproduction can be classified into two types: asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In this chapter, there are a total of 15 subtopics. And today we are going to study about asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction basically is a process which results in the production of genetically identical progeny. Progeny means young ones, okay, and these young ones are genetically similar or identical from single organism, means from one parent, okay. And when we are saying that these young ones are genetically identical and they are from single parent, that means they inherits all the genes of the parent. And any individual which are morphologically and genetically identical, we call them as clones. Till here, is it clear? So in asexual reproduction, the production is of genetically identical young ones from one parent, single parent, and these young ones inherits all the genes of the parent. And any individual which are morphologically and genetically identical, we call them as clones. Organism chose to reproduce asexually by different modes. Let us see what are these modes: fragmentation, budding, spore formation. Now, having said that, these are not the exclusive method. There are many more methods which we are going to learn during the course of this video. Fragmentation basically takes place in multicellular organisms, and these multicellular organisms, they break into fragments, and there could be many reasons for this, and then these fragments later on grows into new individual. Example is Spirogyra, and fragmentation also occurs in Hydra. Okay. Now over here you can see the fragments of Spirogyra and then later on developing into daughter Spirogyra. Next, we are going to study about budding. Now, budding is the most common asexual method of reproduction in unicellular yeast, and it takes place during favorable conditions, and one or more outgrowths or buds are seen, okay, and these buds or these outgrowth develops into a new individual, okay. And as we said that budding takes place in yeast, budding also takes place in Hydra. So Hydra also reproduces through budding. So Hydra reproduces through fragmentation as well as through budding. Over here, adult yeast, outgrowth developing. You can see the nucleus has divided, and then you can see many outgrowth over here. Next we are going to study spore formation. It takes place in Chlamydomonas, and in Chlamydomonas it takes place with the help of zoospores. What are zoospores? They are flagellated motile. Flagellated means these spores having whip-like structure. Motile means movement. So zoospores are nothing else but they are spores. They are minute, they are one cell, and they are capable of giving rise to a new individual, and basically it's a characteristics of lower plants, fungi and protozoan. So in Chlamydomonas, asexual reproduction takes place with the help of flagellated motile zoospores. So any spores having a flagella and are able to move, they are called as zoospores. So zoospore is clear, and these zoospores then later on develops into a new individual. Okay. Here we can see flagella is gone and the cell starts dividing in Chlamydomonas. Okay, and later on these burst open and new zoospores are formed, which moves into the environment and then grows into new Chlamydomonas under favorable condition. Till here is it clear? The other methods includes binary fission, conidia formation and gemule formation. Let us understand binary fission in amoeba. So binary means two and fission means splitting. That means the amoeba splits into two daughter amoebae. So let us see how the binary fission takes place over here. So this is parent amoeba, and this parent amoeba, the elongation of nucleus takes place, then the nucleus and the cytoplasm divides and two daughter cells are formed. Okay. Apart from this, there is another method which takes place in amoeba and other single cell organism, and that method is known as encystation and sporulation. So what does we mean by encystation? So in encystation, the pseudopodia is gone and a hard covering is formed, that is cyst-like covering. So this process or this phenomena where the pseudopodias are withdrawn by the amoeba and it secretes a three-layered hard covering around itself, it is called as encystation, and this happens during unfavorable conditions. Okay, so during unfavorable conditions, the amoeba withdraws its pseudopores and forms a cyst-like covering. So this is encystation, and when the favorable conditions returns, then amoeba, that cyst amoeba, starts multiple division and produces many pseudopores, or you can say forms many minute amoeba, and the cyst wall then burst open. Okay, and these pseudopores are released into the environment, and this process is known as sporulation. So encystation basically means forming of a hard covering around the amoeba or around that single cell organism, and sporulation means the walls burst open and spores are released into the surrounding. Till here is it clear? Next we are going to study conidia formations. Conidia is similar to spore formation, or conidia you can say is very much similar to spore. So what happens, the mature penicillium, which is known as conidopore, it releases the conidia into the ground, and this conidia, that is over here you can see the conidiospore releases the conidia into the environment. This conidia starts germinating and then develops into new penicillium. So this is how conidia formation takes place in penicillium. Till here is it clear? Next we are going to see is gemule formation, which takes place in sponges. So over here when we see a section of sponge, we can see a green color structure. So this green color structure is nothing else but it's a gemule, and gemule is very much similar to bud formation. Okay, and this bud is an internal bud. Okay, as we have seen in yeast, that is an external bud. Same way over here in sponges, these gemules are internal bud. Okay, so let us study the internal structure of gemule. So when we look at the internal structure of gemule, we see there is a minute opening which is called as micropyle. Now this micropyle is a minute opening, and there is a peripheral layer and air chambers. Now these air chambers helps gemmules to float in the air. Okay, till here is it clear? Now in this we can see archaeocyte. Now these archaeocytes are basically single cell unit, and these are the main reproductive cell of the sponges. Okay, and they are surrounded by spicules. Now these spicules are sharp pointed structure, and they are involved in protecting the gemmule and even giving the structural support to the gemmule. Till here is it clear? So these cells, these archaeocytes, they comes out from the micropyle and develops into new sponges under favorable conditions. So gemmule formation is clear to everyone? All right. Alright, now let's start with vegetative reproduction. So plant produces asexually through their vegetative parts. So the vegetative parts of the plant are stem, leaves and roots. Okay, and new plants which are formed through vegetative parts are genetically identical to their parents. And there are few methods which do not occur naturally. They do not occur naturally in the plant. They have been opted by the agricultural field and horticultural field. And why do they do so? In order to multiply the stalks of the plant. And artificial methods are also used to propagate desired varieties of the plant. The reason why vegetative reproduction is used is it allows quick production of new plants, allows combination of good qualities of different varieties, and it provides excellent method of propagating desired varieties of plant which can grow in shorter period of time. Till here is it clear? In vegetative reproduction, the methods are cutting, grafting and tissue culture. In cutting, stem cutting, leaf cutting and root cutting. Let us learn each of them in detail. The first example which we are going to see is stem cutting in bougainvillea. Apart from bougainvillea, stem cutting method is very common in rose plant, in hibiscus, in mogra, in mehendi, and you name most of the plants, you name them and they can grow with the method of stem cutting. What you are going to do in stem cutting method is you take a plant, good plant, and cut it, and it should be around 6 to 8 inches. Trim the leaves, ensure that there are nodes from where the leaves can emerge, and then plant them. Okay, so take the twig, trim off the leaves, put it into the soil, water it regularly, and your bougainvillea is ready. Okay. Let us see leaf cutting method. We are taking an example of bryophyllum. So in case of bryophyllum, when the leaves comes in contact with the soil, adventitious leaf buds develops, and then these leaf buds which develops from the notches at the margin of the leaf produces into a new plant. And leaf cutting method, example is Sansevieria, which is also known as snake plant. What you have to do is you take Sansevieria, you cut the leaf of the Sansevieria and you put the part of the Sansevieria into water, and after few days you will see that the rhizomes, which are false roots, they start coming out, they start emerging out. So once the rhizomes are formed, you have to take that part of the leaf along with the rhizome and put it into the soil, water it regularly, provide the right environment, and then the Sansevieria will grow into a new plant. Okay, till here is it clear? Next we are going to study is root cutting method. Example is blackberry. So when we are taking an example of blackberry, we have to take the cutting at the time when the plant is dormant, means not very active. Okay, then we have to remove it from the parent plant and we have to clear it everything, and we have to ensure that we are not disrupting the root system of the main plant. Otherwise that main parent plant may die if we disturb the root system. Okay, so we should not disturb the root system of that particular plant and we should not damage that plant. Okay, and then we have to snip off the pale roots. Okay, so here you can see the root has been cut off, the pale roots have been snipped off, and then they have been cut into 2 to 8 inches. Okay, and the thick root, the roots which are thick, okay, they have been laid vertically into the soil, and the ones which are thin are laid horizontally to the soil. Provide the right environment, water the cuttings regularly, and you can see within 2 months a new plant emerges out. Till here is it clear? Next method we are going to study is grafting. Okay, now grafting basically means that two parts of the plant are joined in such a way that they grow as one plant. Okay, now one part of the plant is known as scion. Now which part of the plant is known as scion? Which has two buds, or from where the leaves can emerge, or from where the new shoots can come out. Okay, so basically a part of the plant is known as scion, which contains more than one bud. Okay, and these scion are then attached to the stalk. Now stalk means the rooted plant. Okay, the plant which is rooted. So in this method, the part of the stem containing more than one bud is called as scion. So over here you can see this is scion, and this scion is been attached to the stalk. Now stalk is nothing else but it is the rooted plant. So this method is called as grafting. Till here is it clear? An example is apple, pear, rose. Alright. In grafting, the another method or another type of grafting is called as bud grafting. In bud grafting, what happens? We take only one bud. In scion, there are more than one bud. Okay, and here we are taking only one bud, and this is known as budding, or it is also known as bud grafting. Till here is it clear? Let us study tissue culture. Tissue culture basically is a method where small amount of plant tissue is carefully grown into many plantlets. And tissue culture is micropropagation methods which are used nowadays. Okay. So let us see the process of tissue culture. A plant tissue is obtained and is cultured in an appropriate medium under sterile condition. And why sterile condition? To prevent various types of microorganisms affecting the process. Now these plant tissues later on results in the development of callus. Callus are nothing else but the growth of tissues, okay, and these then develops into shoots, and once these shoots are formed, after few weeks these shoots are then put into the right environment and in the right condition for further growth. Till here is it clear? Any confusion over here? Let's do a quick recap. Today we have studied about different modes of asexual reproduction. They are as follows: fragmentation, budding, spore formation, binary fission, conidia formation, gemule formation, reproduction through vegetative parts through cutting of stem, leaf and root. We have also studied about grafting and tissue culture. An entire playlist of this particular chapter will be uploaded soon, so do subscribe this channel to receive latest notification. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions, do write to me at alnazacademyofficial@gmail.com. So till we meet next time, stay safe, stay positive, do like, subscribe and share this video with your friends. Take care, bye bye, thank you and happy learning.